Hello, and welcome to the Simply Convivial podcast, where we embrace the beauty of our ordinary, everyday work with joy and purpose. Convivial means cheerful, friendly, and full of life, and that's how we want our homes to feel. I'm Mystie Winckler, homemaker, homeschool mom, and author of the book Simplified Organization Learn to Love What Must Be Done. And today I'm joined by Convivial Circle member Cara Frayer. Cara is happily married for going on 8 years, and she and her husband have two little girls. She is learning to love what must be done and enjoying these precious early years. She and her family are currently in the process of moving from a house into full-time RV living. So that's a huge transition.
Yes.
Thank you for joining me, Cara.
Thanks so much for having me.
Well, inside Convivial Circle, we just wrapped up Humble Habits, which is our course on kind of personal habits, personal self-discipline habits, really, or just the regular routines of um, living a full life ourselves, but in baby step form. Those things like Bible reading or exercise that we tend to amplify, that we tend to try to make so big, that we try to make perfect from the get go, and then we fall off the bandwagon. So, Humble Habits helps us start with baby step habits. And I'm really excited to hear how that went for you this time around.
Yeah, I'm excited to share about it. It was really good. I feel like this is the first time I actually did the whole course. I think I've been a member going on maybe over 3 years now. I joined when this one was like 6 months old, and now she's almost four. So yeah, I think three years now. So I've always done like little bits and pieces of it when I see it come up on the monthly topic, but then this time I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it because our life is chaotic and I need some habits.
Love it. So this time around, then going through all of it, it wasn't completely brand new or unfamiliar then.
Yeah. I think I definitely knew, I mean, the idea of like habit statements that was familiar from doing the community coaching. And then um some of them I think like I already had the habit in place. I had just never written it down. And so that was helpful to just acknowledge that that was already in place and maybe I'd picked it up from somewhere else or but just to acknowledge it and then to like put it into a phrase.
Nice. So which habit really did you work on the most or see the most progress in?
Well, the movement one, I was like, okay, I need something super simple. And so I just tied doing 10 squats to brushing my teeth.
Nice.
Um, and then that has kind of snowballed into I usually try to brush my teeth when the girls are getting ready for bed. And so now they'll do their little squats with me. It's so cute. And even my husband was like, he was brushing their teeth one night and he was like, all right, do your squats. And so I was like, oh, it's like cascading into this habit for even for them and to see. So like that was really encouraging to see them picking up on it and they were reminding me to like even my 2-year-old was brushing her teeth and she would just start doing squats. So I was like, oh yeah, we need to do that. So that one was a good one. And then the smiling one too. I feel like I've always tried to make a point to smile at them when they come out of their room in the morning. Um, but then adding on like, okay, well, anytime they're like coming into the room or after nap time to just like make a point to smile at them and not be grumpy that my quiet time's being interrupted, but to welcome them with a smile as well.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it's a big one. It makes such a big difference in
Mhm.
the relationship and the tone of the house overall.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how did so in Humble Habits we have um everyone write habit statements. You kind of mentioned that a little bit
Mhm.
before. So they're like template sentences, fill in the blank
Mhm.
sentences. What was your smile habit statement?
So I made two. So the first one was after my children come out of their room in the morning and after rest time, I will smile at them because I want to set a positive tone for our morning and afternoon together. And then I also wanted to make a point to smile more at my husband because he had made a comment about how sometimes he comes home from work and he can tell that I'm stressed. So I was like, okay, I need to greet him with a smile, even if I am stressed. So, I made one for him too. And I said, after my husband comes in the door after work, I'll greet him with a smile and a smooch because I want to set a positive tone for our evening together. And even if it's just like a quick smile and a peck on the lips, like I feel like it just makes the it's a better greeting than him walking in the kitchen, seeing me frazzled and grumpy.
That's great. So how did having those statements help?
Well, those were like guaranteed cues. Like the kids always come out of their room, husband always comes in the door. So acknowledging that like those were the triggers was really helpful. Um, and then the action is obviously smile. Um, and then thinking about, I like the last part of the statement, like, well, I have the trigger, I have the action, but what is it? Why am I doing this? Like, what's the why behind it? And so I know a lot of the empowered wife study that was going on talks about like setting the tone in our house. And so that was a question I had had last year when we were going through the study is like, well, what does that mean? Like, well, how do you physically set the tone? And then, but thinking about it as terms of like my attitude is what sets the tone. I think I obviously picked that up through like your courses and then other books I've read have just really been honing in on the tone that I set. And so I think that's my why is like that's the tone I want to have in my home is cheerful and not grumpy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We read this really fun book a while back called Pom Pom Panda Gets the Grumps. And so now my 4-year-old has the habit of telling me anytime I'm grumpy, she's like, Mom, you're being a grumpy panda. Stop having the grumps. So that's been our joke lately.
It's a show about Bumpy Panda.
There's a show about a panda too, yeah.
That's fun.
Hmm.
It's good to have those shorthand, the family shorthand.
Hmm.
It's helpful.
Yeah, it's a good book.
And the atmosphere kind of feels like this big nebulous vague thing,
Hmm.
but those two smile habits they're small and concrete
Hmm.
and doable,
Hmm.
and they make a really big difference.
Yeah, definitely.
How long did it take before it felt like it was more natural or normal?
Um, well, I feel like I worked on the smiling one for a while now because I think isn't there a module somewhere in the community coaching about smiling
Yeah.
and also about asking your husband like what are the things you want when you come home, like 3 things. And I know
Mhm.
two of his was a smile and a smooch, and then the dish and dinner to be started. So like I already had those two in my brain of like, okay, that's what he wants. Um, so that one was easy for him to be like, okay, that's something that communicates love towards him. And then also it's aligning my heart with the tone that I want to set for our home. And that has like I'm realizing like just how big of an impact that is as the wife and a mom. Like if I have a frown and I'm, you know, disengaging, that affects everybody, not just me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just like the squats, you see it with the
Yeah.
attitude and with the actions, they mimic
Yeah.
us.
Yes, definitely.
So then, have you seen any of those seed habits, the movement or the smile one, kind of snowball beyond just the baby step?
Yes. So the specifically the movement one, um, I've been in a bad boom and bust cycle lately with like exercise. And I listen to these podcasts and read all these books. I'm like, I'm gonna do this, 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 and this. I'm gonna change my whole life. I'm gonna
Right.
eat vegan, like, just crazy. And but I realized I was like, I need to just really, really baby step it and do one thing, like one thing for a week, and then maybe add on something else if I've been consistent with that other thing. And so like it started with the squats. And I feel like every time, like it's really actually it's become kind of ingrained now that when I get the toothbrush in my mouth, I'm like, oh, I need to be doing squats. And so then I added on after that. Um, we read that book called it's in the book Madeline.
Mhm.
And there's a phrase in there where she says or I can't remember what page it is. It says we left that they left the house at 9:30 in two straight lines. And so I was like, okay, 9:30 is going to be my trigger to go out of the house and go for a walk. And so I joined an app called Step Bet where you put some money down and you try to
Yes.
meet your step
I've
goals.
I've done a
Yeah.
step up before.
Yeah. I'm on week 3. So, yeah, I've been really surprised. I've been like getting out and getting in my 9 to 10,000 steps. And so that's been a big difference for me because I think I was not averaging that before. Silly.
So then do you take your girls out with you to get those steps?
I do. And that's kind of been a fun like family thing for us too, is like they really like that book. And so I'm like, oh, it's 9:30. It's time to get out. And that's a good time for us anyways, because it's, we've cleaned up from breakfast, we've gotten dressed, and then I have an alarm set on my watch to start to vibrate at 9:30. I'm like, oh, okay, we need to be outside in the stroller or in the car driving somewhere to the park or something outside. And so that's been a really fun trigger and how it's kind of snowballed into like a new trigger and a new movement, but like scaling it up a little bit.
Yeah. But that's a really fun one. I love that it's tied to a book.
Yeah.
And your girls know it too. And then
Yeah.
probably it's the timer alarm thing
Hmm.
also
Yes, I think
makes
so.
it happen.
Hmm.
Do you have any encouragement or pieces of advice for anyone listening wanting to smile more or move more?
I would say start small, like identify a trigger that's already there for you that's fixed, like you already brushed your teeth or your husband comes home at a certain time. Identifying a trigger that's already firmly in place was really helpful because I found that was a problem with for me with some of the other habit statements is I tried to tie it to something that wasn't really actually a trigger or wasn't enough of a trigger to make me think, oh, I'm supposed to be doing something right now. So with the smiling one and the movement one, I feel like those ones, like those were good hooks to put that habit on. Um, the other ones I need to iterate. Like I wrote them down and they sound good, but I'm not doing them. So I think I'm just gonna, I have them in the background, but as I have time, I'll come back in the next round, add on to those ones.
I mean, sometimes they stick better after they've percolated for a while.
Hmm.
You're like,
Hmm.
think about it, and yeah, it takes time.
Yeah. And I think that would be my encouragement too, because I feel like I really felt at first like, what was the point of going through this if I didn't ace every single objective? But even the fact that just 2 of them stuck really good this time, like that was a win. And that was worth the time that I put into it. And then the other ones, like I wrote them down and now I know like I can come back to them.
Yeah, that's great
Mhm.
because that really is key to the better attitude about it all too, is acknowledging the wins rather than feeling
Yeah.
like, well, I mean, it's perfectionism. If it's
Hmm.
not everything all at once, then nothing counts at all. But
Yeah.
it's not the way it works.
And I don't think I mean, we're in this crazy transition right now where we're moving from the house to the RV and the sale of the house fell through. And so now we're waiting again. But I don't think I didn't read, I just listened to everything. And that has really stuck with me from community coaching is like listening counts, just listening to the audio and just putting it on while I brush my teeth or go on our walk. Like that has just letting it percolate has really, um, let it sink in. So,
Great.
yeah.
Well, I hope you're going to join again the next round.
Yes.
Community coaching will be starting up here again soon, and that'll be during the transition times are the
Yeah.
hardest times to keep up, but that's really a time where you have to rethink and iterate
Hmm. Hmm.
everything all over again.
Definitely.
Well, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks, Misty.
In our conversation, Cara mentioned community coaching several times. Simplified Organization Community Coaching is our full 12-month accountability process, working through all your homemaking systems, setting a few of those systems up if they don't yet exist. We work through organize your attitude, streamline your homemaking, and work your plan. These are the 3 core courses inside Convivial Circle. And over the course of 12 months, we work through them with accountability, extra meetups, checklists, and support to really get the most out of it. You can join us because our 2026 cohort begins soon and enrollment is open. So go to simplyconvivial.com/coaching to find out more and to join us so that 2026 is your year of making over your homemaking routines. Inside Convivial Circle, here at Simply Convivial, and definitely inside the Simplified Organization Community Coaching Group, we practice repenting, rejoicing, and repeating.